boy King Hustle. And yes, this is the best money in credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you'll be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hustle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and the Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up. All right. Got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there. So please get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you are doing legit business and you are getting what you paid for, right? And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members, and we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's gonna turn you into a boss. So you're tired of being a zero, you're ready to be a family hero. Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen, because you already know when I drop these videos and y'all get them notifications, it's gonna be some information that's gonna help you win, keep you informed, and keep you entertained. And so we are back at it again with the new methods, the new scams, the new fraud tactics that's going on in the world that seems to be getting a lot of people paid. And it's a lot going on. It's a lot of people trying and learning new things when it comes to bank fraud, when it comes to identity theft, when it comes to check fraud, credit card fraud. It's wherever there's money being made, there's going to be some type of scam or fraud being committed because the opportunity for money to be made is right there. So we're gonna be talking about skimmers. We're gonna be talking about these new tools. We're gonna be talking about these new methods that's been going on that people have been utilizing to commit some type of fraud. So with that being said, let's get into these gems. All right, so hold on, cause I got so hold on, turn it down. So ever since COVID-19, there has been a fraud epidemic. A lot of people have been committing fraud. And since COVID-19, people have been utilizing credit and banks more to commit these type of scams and fraudulent activities. So when it comes to fraud and scamming, people, first of all, like I've been, because I want you guys to really start hearing it so much that you start understanding. Because people really lack a lot of information, and people really got a lot of information that's not even accurate. So people like throwing out the word scammer. Everybody is scammer. Everybody's scamming. That is not the situation. There are scammers, there are fraudsters, and then there are hackers. And people got to know the difference between all three because those three people do three different things. So scammers are people who social engineer, trick, or manipulate somebody into sending their own money, authorizing certain funds and transfers. Then you have fraudsters who commit fraudulent activities or fraudulent methods as far as identity theft, getting credit cards and checks in other people's names and utilizing the funds off of those. That's fraud. Then you have hackers who basically they do none of that. All they do is compromise and steal information and get into different databases and servers and basically control and command, and they basically are the information people. So fraudsters and the scammers need information to complete a task, and they get that information from the hackers. And the fraudsters and the scammers are two different type of people who do two different type of things. So people got to start understanding that because everybody is not a scammer, everybody's not a fraudster, everybody's not a hacker. So people just be like, "Oh, y'all scamming? Are you scammer? Are you a scammer?" No. So people got to know the difference. Me, I am not a scammer. I am not a fraudster. I am a ethical hacker. So I'm good with information, and that's why people come to me for a lot of different things as far as information on credit, business, how to make money, how to all different types. I'm the information guy, right? So that's where everything stands, and people need to really know that because some people really get offended when they call them something that they not like. I know some scammers. I know some fraudsters that hate to be called scammers because they not doing that. And I know some hackers that hate to be called a fraudster or a scammer because they're not doing that. So it's crazy, but it's what it is. Like if you was a you wouldn't want to be called something that you're not, point blank period. And especially if the precipitation of what you're being called is not what you want to be perceived as, right? So let's get back to it. So it's a lot of different methods and tactics that people are doing to get this information. Now, the, the way the world is set up, it makes it easy for anybody to be able to get any type of information that they want, point blank period. And since people have been utilizing banks more to commit fraud, now they are focusing on how to get what the bank is offering. That's loans, credit cards, and lines of credit, right? You got checks, you got debit cards and credit cards. So they there's a lot of devices that's legal out here that people figure out how to use illegally. So you got the MSR X6, and this black box is basically a reader and a writer. And we all probably know what that is. And this device allows people to read cards and write cards. So the method with that MSR X6 is a lot of people put people in a position or go recruit people to work at late night restaurants and with drive-throughs because when people go through the drive-through, they hand the person their card, they shut the little window. And you can't, more than likely that window is tinted. You really can't see what's going through that window. And when somebody swipes somebody's card on that MSRX6, they're not going to get an alert because they're not purchasing anything. That device is just reading that information that's on that card. The only time they're going to get a notification or alert or anything is when they purchased or swipe the card for the food. And it's going to say, you just spent such and such at McDonald's or whatever, wherever they at. KFC, Taco Bell, Whataburger, Jack in the Box. I'm talking about. So by that person swiping that card on that reader and writer, they're now getting that information. And it in a time period of one day, somebody can get at least 20 cards swiped on that device, which will have 20, basically somebody have 20 different people's card information. Now, when that person gets that information, there's so many different avenues that people can go down to utilize to possibly retrieve funds from that. Now you got some people that get this information and say, "Hey, I'm going to go sell this on the black market or the dark web." Then you got some people that say, "Hey, I'm going to utilize this information myself." So people have different ways on how to utilize different information. So the skimmer has been definitely one of the main old tricks in the book to get credit card information and going on the dark web. Now they got it where people got these skimmers, and skimmers are basically cloned covers to go over the actual point of entry on a POS machine. So let me give an example. So when you go to an ATM and you insert your card, the port where you insert your card could be a skimmer, meaning that they took this little cover that looks exactly like the port that where you insert your card and put it over the real port. But it's a skimmer. So every time you swipe it, and people put their card in there, it's reading that information. And then they got skimmers where they can put over the pin stroker. So where you type in your pin information and all that, it could be a skimmer. They can put a whole pad over the numbers that looks exactly the same. So now they got this skimmer on the card port and they got a pin stroke skimmer that's getting the pins and it's getting the ATM numbers, the debit card numbers or whatever the card they're using at the time. And people don't pay attention to it and people don't know about it. So they're not going to pay attention to it unless it's just obvious, it's coming up or it's just like you can see it. Then they're more common at gas stations. Those little black boxes that be where we pay at when we go to the gas station. Those can have skimmers on those. Those are mainly have skimmers on those too. The same ones at Walmart where yeah, they have covers that are skimmers that they put over the POS machine where we tap our card to pay for the what's the name that looks exactly the same. So you would never know unless you mess with it and make sure it's not loose or coming off because it should never be loose. So if it's loose and it can come off, that's a skimmer. A lot of people who work at the gas stations be putting those skimmers on them because a lot of times, not being racist, they be Indians and things like that. So those skimmers are very popular. Then they got gas pump skimmers that people are finding out where to buy the universal key for gas pumps, get into the gas pumps and put skimmers inside the gas pumps and come back and get those. So whoever utilizes that gas pump and uses their card while they're at that gas pump, information will be compromised on that skimmer. So it's a lot of different tactics that's going on here. SIM swapping, people are starting to do. Spoof bots, people are been using, sending out spoof text messages and calls to make it seem like some suspicious fraudulent activity is going on somebody's account to make them give up certain personal information, which allows that to be a scam and not a fraudulent activity because they're basically authorizing all these transactions. So what we're going to do is we're going to analyze this video of two people who got caught in, I think, Miami for utilizing skimmers and fraudulent information. So, deputies uncover alleged credit card skimming during drug traffic stop in Palm Beach. So, I guess some people got caught with this little elaborate scheme right here with the credit card skimming. So, let's see what's going on with these two goofies with the skimming game.
Palm Beach County deputies say two separate drug stops.
Oh, I turned it down. My bad.
Took a sharp turn. Palm Beach County deputies say two separate drug stops took a sharp turn straight into suspected fraud. Investigators say two men had skimming devices and multiple credit and debit cards that didn't belong to them. CBS 12 News reporter Victoria de Cardenas is at the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office with what investigators found. Victoria?
What deputies uncovered wasn't just suspicious, it was textbook identity theft in action. And a cybersecurity expert told me that criminals can now get your card information without you ever swiping.
So what they got going on?
After 9:30 Tuesday morning near Lantana Road and Congress Avenue, when deputies say a drug investigation suddenly turned into something bigger, twice. When investigators initially stopped Josue Lawrence, they immediately spotted him trying to hide two debit cards in the driver's seat. A further search uncovered 4 debit cards with 4 different names, 4 cell phones, and a skimming device, the kind to use to rip your bank information in seconds. And just one car over, a near carbon copy of the same crime. Inside Jimsley Bernard's wallet, 5 more cards, all tied to other people.
They was out there swiping.
Deputies also found 7 phones, a rifle, a handgun, and yet another scam.
Now, people don't be really thinking. If you're going to commit some crime, every time you go out in the streets, you should be thinking about the police and what can possibly happen. So you should be like, man, what if I get caught today? Or get pulled over and blah, blah, blah. I shouldn't be smoking in the car because that's probable cause and that's going to find this and that. And people be smoking in the car and doing all, because you see, they said a drug investigation. So they probably got caught, pulled over, smelled weed or whatever, or seen somebody, or whatever, it's drugs. Probable cause, and they got this stuff on them. So like people be having so much evidence on them. We're going to say evidence because that's what they use it as, evidence that get them jammed up into dumb situations. I don't know, no river. So, yeah, let's see what's going on.
Scammer.
And they come in the form of either a handheld device that.
And then they got the device on them. Like, why would you have a device on you? Like, what y'all got going on?
The perpetrator will use to get the card number.
Kareem Hijazi has over 30 years of experience in cybersecurity and says criminals keep evolving. You don't need to use your card at a gas pump or ATM anymore for your information to be stolen. These days, thieves can grab what they need straight from the chip in your card.
It's actually an NFC chip, which is a near frequency chip. And if you get close enough to it, it can pull that information just like you do when you tap your card on legitimate devices.
Do that.
And once they have your data, they can make any card look like the real deal.
They have printers now that will actually print the face of the card that looks just like a bank card.
I told y'all. Listen, I've been trying to tell y'all, bro. They're getting really elaborate with these schemes and these scams and these fake cards and checks. He just said it, and I've been telling y'all this. They got it where you can literally make a fake bank card. Like it looks exactly like it's the real card from the bank. It's getting wild.
Know the difference.
Hijazi says there are special wallets that can help block those digital scammers, but your best defense is to stay aware. As for Bernard and Lawrence, both men are facing felony charges for fraudulent possession of personal ID and for having that skimmer, among other charges.
So what they was doing was, probably what they was doing is, and I'm not 100% sure, but what they was probably doing was using that little flipper to zero device or some device like it, getting the information, got the skimmer on them. They hooking the flipper zero up to the either a laptop or to a laptop or something, putting the information on the laptop and then writing the information on the cards with the MXR X6 or whatever device that they had. So that's probably why they had all that on them, because they was going around stealing information with that little device. I don't know if it was a flipper zero or what, putting it on the laptop and just swiping as they go. So they was pretty elaborate with it. So you got to be more safe. You got to be more cautious and aware of what's going on out here, because these type of things are happening and people don't know about it. So with that being said, like I tell you guys all the time, make sure you guys get your Norton LifeLock to monitor all your financial and social media accounts to make sure no suspicious activity is going on, and then monitor the dark web to make sure none of your personal information is on there floating around to be sold. Also, make sure you guys are freezing your credit profiles, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. If it's froze, nobody can get anything in your name, not even you. So make sure you guys are freezing those. And make sure you guys are getting new credit card and debit card numbers every so often, because things like this is happening. And if that information is on that database or that type of compromise or hack or leak, you're going to be a victim. But if you get new cards every so often, that old information will no longer be valid and you have a fresh new start. All right. So make sure you guys are doing that. And also make sure you guys are finding these new wallets that can protect your information from being stolen from these hackers out here and these fraudsters and scammers. All right. So make sure you guys are staying more safe, staying more cautious, and being more aware of what's going on out here in this real world, this real crazy world that we all are living in. All right. So shout out to all my Real King Hussle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me keep going. Y'all motivate me keep dropping this sauce, and y'all motivate me keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there that's tired of being broke, because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime one-on-one limited gyms are $1,000, but for limited time only, I'm doing them for $600. Yes, $600. Cash App or Bitcoin payment. Once the $600 is on your Cash App or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know you payment ready, and we will go from there. All right. No screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yell me. Make sure y'all booking your seat on the webinars Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, $250. Make sure y'all booking your seat on the crypto tour in person limited gyms, $350. Make sure y'all booking your seat on the month-long mentorship, $1,000. Make sure y'all checking out my vendor platforms on Telegram and the Potato App, Me and Your Networking World. Still looking for the production company. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the notification bell on my YouTube channels, my Twitches, IGs, and TikTokers, Snapchats. Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world, because it's changing people's lives, and make sure y'all get in and y'all fit in with these lows. All right, Cash App a Bitcoin payment, 120 and up. Don't miss out. Send them screenshots and let's get to work. And with that being said, it's your boy King Hussle. Y'all know how to get down in these videos. I'll see you at the next lesson video or live. Peace.